Another delivery. Nice Texas speed box here. Let's get inside where it's warmer and open it up. It's a nice looking box there. This whole box is for our new Turbo GMC project truck. Get some of this out. We do have LS9 head gaskets because we are sending the heads off to have them ported. So we got a pair of LS9 head gaskets. And lastly in here we have our gasket kit. Cam change gasket kit. Flip that back over, protect it. LS9 head gaskets back in. This should be a pretty stout setup. Like I said, we have our ARP head bolts. We have the LS9 head gaskets. We'll have the PRC 2.5 ported heads. The same cam that's in my current Turbo GMC, which is a very stout cam for a turbo setup. Same spec. The Johnson lifters and lifter trays and our ARP balancer bolt. So let's get these open and see how these look. There we go. These are kind of Tech Speed has had them for a little while, but they're first time I've seen them. And they're fairly new for them. I think they totally designed them, 3D printed them, and then machined them totally in-house. Looks like a pretty nice stout setup. So it's roller tip in addition to the roller fulcrum, and of course it comes with new hardware here too. So that's very nice. They do say these fit under the stock valve covers. I was a little concerned with that, and we'll see for sure when we get it put together, but they do say these fit under your stock valve covers on the LS motor. So that's very nice. This isn't absolutely necessary. The guy, since we're going to have everything apart, I do recommend usually doing a trunnion upgrade at the very least, and he was like, let's not even do that, let's just go full roller rocker. So again, that's a nice piece from Texas Speed. So we got a box in here. Let's get this open. If it is what I think it is, this should be pretty interesting. So this is another piece of the puzzle for the orange C10 we're doing the refresh on. We got in the Texas Speed cam, and the customer wanted to do a little something different with the air induction. Didn't want to go crazy on the money, blow the budget too much, but definitely wanted to change the look. So let's get this pulled out and check it out. All right guys, there it is. We got a welded sheet metal intake. The quality so far looks pretty good actually. We have our fuel rails and gaskets and stuff like that in that box. We'll get that popped open. Let's get the bubble wrap off the front here. Check out, this truck is a cable throttle, so it's not the servo. That's in there. That's interesting. Let's go to this side. So it looks like that's gonna have to be pressed back in. Oh, that's nice. That just kind of floats in there, so might have to check on that. But it does have the big throttle body. Overall, the finish of it actually looks pretty killer. I'm not too thrilled about that, but we'll figure that out. Let's throw that intake on there and test fit it on this 5.3. We'll pull this intake, it's just sitting on there. So we'll pull it off, throw it on there, see how it looks. Who knows, maybe we'll go that route with this. So here's the underside. Like I said, overall, the welds and the finish of this intake are very nice. We'll see how it performs. But yeah, it's got vacuum fittings here. On the underside, it's got a nice height to it. Let's drop it on this LS Extreme 5.3 we have, and see how it looks on that. Oh yeah guys, that actually looks really good. Cleans it up, makes it a lot more racy looking than like the stock Vortec intake. I don't know as far as performance whether this performs better than that. These actually don't do horrible. Obviously this is a way bigger, I believe that's a 102 millimeter throttle body, and these are I think 80 something, so that's definitely much bigger. But yeah, looks really cool. Definitely gonna have to do, if I end up going this route on this truck, we'll definitely have to do something with that valley cover because it's pretty nasty and ugly looking. Let's get the fuel rails unboxed and see how they look. So in the fuel rail fitting box, of course we have the fuel rails themselves. Again, they look pretty decent. Black powder coated. We have all the mounting hardware in here for the little tabs that stand up, all the fuel fittings, and the hardware to bolt everything together. Of course, here's the fuel crossover. I'm not sure what kind of, this is obviously braided, but I don't know what quality it is. We'll check it out before we actually use it, make sure it's going to hold up and be reliable. Here's our seals for our intake, the runner seals. So let's make sure they fit nice and snug in there, and we're going to seal up proper. This intake is one more piece of the puzzle for the C10. As soon as we get everything in, we'll get him scheduled in. To me, that intake's looking really good. It definitely looks better than the stock one. I don't know. We might have to do something like that. Like I said, this is for the truck we're going to do, the 67 C10. We're getting more and more parts in for this truck. But it just looks really killer sitting there on Project LS Extreme, and we are getting back on this. Yeah, I can't promise a finish date on this thing right now, but we are going to get back on here and do a few things, at least get it cleaned up and get the last couple of things finished up on the chassis here, and probably cover it up until we get the body on. I would love to get back on it and get the body painted and get it thrown back on here. Then we can finish our wiring and actually get this thing fired up. That would be killer. This is a stock truck water pump, so we are clearing. All that clears, even with a hose on there, there's plenty of room. So that would clear no problem. I don't know if it included something for the throttle cable hardware or not. We'll have to definitely double check that. But that is a huge intake throttle body. You can see on the inside there, I'll get a flashlight and shine down in there. It's got little, the runners aren't just cut off even, it does have little bells where they protrude through. So yeah, I can't see this being horrible for performance. Again, it's probably not the top you can get for sure, but for the money, definitely a decent looking piece anyway. We have most of our parts that we need. Now we have the intake, we have the cam, the whole Texas Speed kit, cam, push rods, valve springs, all that stuff. We're waiting for one more piece of the puzzle. I think that's all we're really waiting on. Then we'll get this thing. Oh, we do have to, yeah, there's a couple more small things that we're waiting on, and then we'll get that scheduled in. So we have this we're getting done, the 67 C10, not this, but intake goes to that truck. We have the Camaro, and we also have the new Turbo GMC build. That's also, parts are being gathered for that. Some next couple of days, there's a ton of parts coming in, so we'll try and make some videos of everything coming in, kind of like we did with this today. All right, guys, since we're talking so much about Texas Speed parts and cams and stuff like that, and we're getting so many parts in, obviously the Krypton Camaro already has a Texas Speed VVT cam in it, and it's been a while since we've driven this car. The roads aren't the best conditions, but they're not wet, they're not snowy, so every once in a while you just have to get these cars out and drive them anyway. So let's jump in this. We need to get some parts for the Project 69 Camaro. Let's jump in. We got a GoPro set up on the back. We can hear the exhaust noise. We're riding down the road. Let's fire this thing up cold. put it in track mode. Look at that beauty. She is a little dusty from sitting in the garage, but overall it's still pretty clean. So listen to that Texas Speed cam, the VVT3 cam. Sounds good. We have our full creature comforts on. We have our heated steering wheel on. We have our heated seat on, and we have the heat going. It says 43 degrees, but we just backed it out of the garage, so that is not correct. But still waiting to get a little heat in it, and then we'll take it down the road and let you hear the Texas Speed cam work. One thing, guys, it's been way too long since we drove this. I totally forgot the feel of this car, how much power and the sound. It sounds amazing. Still get tons of questions about this cam and the drivability on it. As you can see, we're about, I don't know, 1600 RPMs. You step on the gas, it pulls right up. No real bucking or anything like that. A lot about drivability has to do with your tune, and a good tune means a lot. Of course, you can only do so much with a large cam, but this cam is extremely tunable, it seems like, and it just works good. We can even throw it in 6th gear at 50 mile an hour and bring it down to like 1200 RPMs. Of course, it doesn't have a ton of power down low like that, but it's not bucking or pulling. 60 miles an hour, 1400 RPMs, 1450, and it just cruises.